As one of the few witches in Oz who could read from the Grimmerie, Elphaba has immense power. The ancient spellbook is written in a long-forgotten language, and only those with natural talent and an unparalleled magical prowess can decipher the spells. Throughout films like Wicked and The Wizard of Oz, Elphaba's abilities grow and progress until she's one of the most powerful entities in Oz. Her magical abilities are known worldwide, and she's stronger than Glinda, Madame Morrible, and the Wizard combined. As someone who was born with her magic, Elphaba's abilities progress throughout the two films, leading to her becoming a fully fledged, indisputable witch. In today's video, I want to recap her many feats and how they evolve over time.
I don't know what you're doing with that, please! Stop!
Number 1. Magical Outburst. The first manifestation of Elphaba's powers are pure magical outbursts. These happen outside of her control and are triggered by intense emotion. The first instance is directly after her birth, as her screams cause multiple objects in her parents' room to fly toward the ceiling. The experience frightens her parents, and she is sent away only to be raised more attentively by her nanny Dulcibert. As her parents shunned her magical abilities, it seems that she never retrieved proper training for them. As a young child, her abilities continue to manifest during times of stress. When she is bullied by a group of Munchkin children for being green, she lashes out at them. However, it should be noted that she doesn't attack her bullies until their jeering causes her younger sister Nessa Rose to cry. In retaliation, her magic takes stones from the ground and launches them at the children, causing them to run from the Throp estate in terror. Elphaba is reprimanded by her father, further causing her to repress her magic. When she arrives at Shiz as an adult, Elphaba is more collected and composed. She has likely learned that her magic has negative repercussions, but she can't help herself when a staff member at Shiz begins pushing Nessa's wheelchair without her consent. Enraged by the disrespect on Nessa Rose's behalf, Elphaba has another magical outburst. She flings benches into the air, frightens the Shiz students, and breaks a mural of Headmistress Morrible.
Let her go!
Number 2. Levitation. Elphaba's inability to control her magic earns the attention of Madame Morrible. The school's headmistress enrolls Elphaba at Shiz and offers her private lessons. Due to her innate and natural abilities, Madame Morrible believes that Elphaba could become partners with the wizard in the near future. However, before she can do so, Elphaba has to learn how to hone her abilities in a more constructive way. The first spell Madame Morrible teaches her is levitation, which would help her move objects at will. Through numerous lessons and emotional manipulation from Morrible, Elphaba manages to levitate a coin. She had the groundwork for the spell early on, as many of her magical outbursts resulted in the levitation of objects. Most notably, she lifts and carries Nessa Rose through the air before returning her safely to the ground.
Or looked down upon, or told to stop jabbering and keep quiet.
Number 3. Sleeping Poppies. A subcategory of Elphaba's magical outburst, she accidentally develops a spell for creating sleep-inducing poppies. Halfway through the school year, Elphaba's favorite professor, a goat named Dr. Dillamond, is apprehended from Shiz and replaced by a human professor. The new professor brings in a presentation for the class, showing them a lion cub locked within a cage. The lion cub is terrified, but Elphaba seems like the only one concerned about his captivity and how it will prevent him from learning to speak. Her growing fear causes Dr. Dillamond's favorite flowers, Poppy, to spread throughout the room. The magically enhanced flowers put most of Elphaba's classmates to sleep, allowing her and Fiyero to save the lion cub. Elphaba later uses the same trick during the events of The Wizard of Oz when trying to capture Dorothy. She creates a field of poppies which Dorothy and her friends travel through. Each of them fall asleep in the field, save for the Scarecrow, making them easy targets for the flying monkeys. They're sent by Elphaba to take the ruby slippers from Dorothy while she sleeps, but the spell wears off before they succeed.
Well, someone's got to do something.
Number 4. Grimmerie Translation. One of the most significant powers shown by Elphaba throughout Wicked is her ability to read from the Grimmerie. The ancient spellbook of magic and enchantments is written in a language lost to time. No one in modern Oz can read from the Grimmerie, and it is suspected that only those with true magical talent can translate its pages. Elphaba is someone of such talent, as the wizard tests her abilities by encouraging her to cast a spell on his animal army, which creates the flying monkeys. When Elphaba realizes that the wizard plans to use the Grimmerie to hurt the animals of Oz for personal gain, she turns against him and flees with the book. Throughout Wicked, she uses the Grimmerie to cast various spells, but many of them have unforeseen consequences. She casts a levitation spell to create her signature flying broom, puts a motion spell on Nessa Rose's silver slippers to help her walk, turns Bach into the Tin Man to save his life, and transforms Fiyero into the Scarecrow. After which she stops using the Grimmerie, believing she's as evil as everyone believes. Number 5. Teleportation. We see more of Elphaba's abilities in The Wizard of Oz, which may or may not be connected to the Grimmerie. One of her most notable spells is teleportation, which she uses to move throughout Oz in the blink of an eye. Her teleportation is marked by a sudden cloud of smoke, which masks her arrival and departures. She uses this ability to sneak up on Dorothy in unsuspecting moments, like when she is moving through the orchard of angry apple trees. Number 6. Pyrokinesis. A skill not shown in Wicked but mentioned in the book is Elphaba's talented ability of pyrokinesis. She can create balls of fire at will, which she launches at people who oppose her. The spell is seemingly very dangerous and could cause significant harm if used incorrectly. In viewing the spell through Elphaba and not the Wicked Witch, I like to believe that it's a scare tactic more than anything. I doubt Elphaba truly wants to harm anyone in Oz, but a showy spell like that could make others keep their distance. It may also be a trick she learned from the wizard who uses fire in his puppetry and theatrics.
You have got to let him explain.
Over my dead body.
This is everything you've dreamed of.
Number 7. Flight. In The Wizard of Oz, there are occasions where the Wicked Witch takes flight for brief periods, in which case she levitates herself a few feet in the air and takes flight. This also isn't a skill shown in Wicked. In fact, when falling from the wizard's tower, she plummets several feet and is unable to save herself without help from her magic broomstick. Elphaba's ability to levitate may be something she learns later in life, and be an enhanced version of the levitation spell she learned from Madame Morrible. If she can only hold the spell for a few seconds, it could give the illusion of flight, while still making her dependent on her broomstick. Number 8. Divination. A final spell utilized by the Wicked Witch is divination. She often uses a crystal ball to watch Dorothy from her castle. Doing so allows her to know where her enemy will be and to create plans clever enough to prolong her journey. Divination is the process of seeking knowledge of the future, which means that the Wicked Witch witnessed events with Dorothy before they came to pass. Divination is one of the natural abilities Elphaba possesses in Wicked. It's likely a skill she has honed since childhood, as she doesn't seem frightened or disturbed after experiencing her first vision. Shortly after arriving at Shiz, Elphaba laments about joining the wizard and becoming beloved throughout Oz. Her fantasy sparks her first vision in the film, where she witnesses the people of Munchkinland rejoicing over her death. However, at the time, she believes they're calling her name in celebration. She later experiences a second vision after learning that the animals of Oz are losing their ability to speak. The vision shows Dr. Dillamond in a cage, reduced to wordless bleeding. The vision foreshadows his fate later in the story, where he is locked away among other helpless animals.
All the worse for you, then. I'll take care of you now instead of later. Ah!
In the timeline of the two films, it's likely that Elphaba began to experiment with her visions and realized that using a crystal ball could help her hone the ability. With abilities like teleportation, divination, and plant manipulation, it's no surprise that Elphaba is the most powerful person in Oz. The Grimmerie only adds to her aptitude, allowing her to transform others into entirely new creatures, like skin becoming straw and a heart being coated in tin. She's an undeniable powerhouse, and I hope that Wicked Part 2 does her justice. In my opinion, everyone in Oz should know the Wicked Witch of the West can't be finished with just a pail of water.
Fall down. Seriously?
Do you need my help?
No, just wear the frock. It's pretty.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
Do you really think this is fair?
Oh, I do not. I was promised a private suite.